Certain challenges, certain statements we made here while implementing these access controls towards SOX compliance. What are the challenges we see, and what is the approach to address that challenge? Whenever any user or any business runs the risk analysis report, there are millions of records initially to go through. And we don't need to be really worried about these millions of records, because if you fix one of the roles, let's say one of the single roles, there if you fix one of the violation or the conflicting authorization object, that leads to huge amount of reduction in the number of line items in SOD violations report. So that approach will definitely help us, or not us to be panic looking at the huge number of violation report, huge number of records. So we can take a cautious approach by having this framework in place. And remediation, sometimes you see good amount of violation report, number of records in a violation report. There, you think that yes, security design is not proper, a lot of cleanup has to be done, lots of access has to be removed. Otherwise, we need to go through a lot of mitigation for us to run the business as usual. So there also we need to look at the remediation. Doesn't need to be, at optimal level. So whenever we see such kind of a report that doesn't call for any cleanup, or that doesn't really lead to look at or revisit the security design in place. Compliance does not only mean taking access away from the users. So sometimes we see lots of access related conflicts in the reports, and it doesn't go towards like clean up all these user access in an immediate basis. We can visit the rules. We can also visit how we define the rules and design the rules, and based on that, we can have a look at the violation report, so that we can see the other side of the coin. Like you can validate the rules, so that you can also see whether the SOD you are seeing is really a conflict, or it needs a little bit of redefining of the rules. And the rules, with a periodic validation by SAP does it on a periodic basis. All the rules will be discussed with world number one audit organizations, KPMG and PwC, and those comments will be incorporated and will be revisited as revised rules that will be supplied to the customer. It is also a good practice for us to have internal validation with our audit team or the business team, so that they can look at, they can revisit the rules on a periodic basis, so that we can have a comprehensive, corrected, revised risk library all the time. Whenever we see the violations, is this SOD violations caused by incorrect rule? That's also one of the things which we need to look at. So we to take a cautious approach. Once we see the violation, better we also look at the rules which is causing this violation, and also look at the rule design, whether it is properly designed or it needs any revision. Can the access be removed from the role or the user? So take a small step to start with in the cleaning process. If there are any violations towards for any of the roles or users or the profiles, those violations can be looked at and cleanup process can start from a role. Can this SOD violation be addressed using other alternatives? That is also one of the things which we need to look at. We have a user exits, risk terminators, the small component of this application, and also business change, which we need to look at for this SOD violation to be addressed. Can this access requirement be addressed using access control? That's one of the things which we need to look at before we see the purpose of remediation. And the emergency access management will help you not to eliminate the access or the highest privileges whenever you don't want to get rid of them. So we can still have this by making use of emergency access management tool. We can monitor the super user privileges by looking at their audit trail or whatever the transactions they visited during their access. Okay, so we talked about the IT controls framework and how the compliance cost can be, how can we see towards the compliance cost reduction and the certain challenges we see while implementing this access control or the controls within the SAP. These days, IDM helps to fine-tune your IT controls framework for you to be compliant identity management system. You have the for you to have the compliant identity management system. Why AC and IDM combination? So IDM is being offered by many organizations like Microsoft IDM, some IDM, SAP IDM. AC can be integrated, as can AC and IDM combination can be with any of these IDMs. But we talk about SAP IDM in this session, why this combination is helpful towards greater compliance, much more evolved compliance for the organization. So we have observed that improved communication between IDM and access controls. Access controls offers good number of web services. IDM offers good number of web services. With the help of the web services, we'll be able to manage lots of real-time access risk analysis and the real-time validation of the risk analysis either from the IDM, the request can be generated from IDM or from the access controls part, but we can have a real-time risk analysis in both ways with a very minimal or by using existing web services. And improved infrastructure to support the world standards for have the communication between IDM and AC. The request form and request submission, from request approval to the provisioning, we have a great number of steps, great number of the framework components which are part of this IDM and AC framework that can go together. You see this combination how helps business. As access control covers business controls and IDM covers system-related controls, by having this combination like GRC, access governance, access risk analysis, and compliance reporting, all the three components, and the IDM offers system-related controls and single sign-on. By having this combination, we can go towards compliant identity manager for the entire system landscape, GRC, SAP, or non-SAP system landscape.